Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General, thanks for being here, and congratulations. You and your family had a great talk the other day, and you'll do an outstanding job. Had a chance over, and I told you this, over the last month to go down to the War College and see General Andrea Tullis, who does an outstanding job. She allowed me to speak to all 1,500 colonels and majors, and that was a treat. I mean, what leaders we got in this country. That was awesome. We also discussed politics, and hopefully when you take this position over, you'll do your job, stay out of politics, leave that to Secretary Kendall. You know, the one thing that has concerned me since I've been here for 3 years, and even before that, you know, we decided to build a new tanker, and we still are not in rapid deployment of that. And, you know, it kind of concerns me that we just can't overcome problems like that within this committee. But that being said, you know, politics continues to take over. One thing I want to talk about is I've had several calls over the last 6-7 months from generals in the Air Force. In recent years, our sorties have decreased to 1.5 a month, and Chinese have increased theirs to around 4 a month. Now, you know, being from a coaching background, I know practice makes perfect. And what's your thoughts about that? You know, we've got to be ready to fight, and 1.5 sorties a month doesn't sound like a whole lot to me. Now, you know more than me.
Well, Senator, reps and sets, that is important. And so ensuring our readiness to be able to meet the challenge is certainly one of our priorities. One of the challenges that we have along with that is with our flying hours program, which is, we don't have flying hours, you can't put the pilots in the cockpits, is the challenge is we continue to have the legacy system, so we only have so many dollars to spread across. And when you have reduced aircraft availability rates because they're old and they're finding new and interesting ways to break, and they break for longer periods of time and they stay in depots for longer periods of time, that removes them from the ability to be able to be flown. So that's one of the challenges that we have. Also with some of the maintainers that we want to fly to maintain these new aircraft, we need those wily, cagey maintainers to keep fixing the old ones. So some of that skill set that we're looking for seasoned maintainers to transition to some of these 5th-generation platforms have not been available to us. And as they say, if you want a 10-year maintainer, it takes 10 years to build that. So if we can't have access to those because they're still maintaining the legacy platforms, and also those legacy platforms have supply chain issues, all those sort of things that make it just less efficient, which is another reason as we are looking to manage the readiness of today and the readiness of tomorrow, that we have that challenge to be able to meet the needs while still being able to advance to the modernization that we need.
So you're saying this is not a policy, this is a cost problem, an airplane problem, maintenance problem. This is not a policy that we have to cut back to 1.5 sorties a month. Are you saying that?
Senator, what I would say is where policy could help is as we try and pursue our modernization strategy, if we could have less restrictive language that will allow us to move that along, we will continue to try and manage best the risk of maintaining the current legacy platforms and moving into the new platforms.
Yeah. So you being in the Air Force and being around it for a long time, how many sorties do we need a month to really be prepared to fight somebody like China?
Senator, there's a great phrase in the weapons school that says it depends, and I know that's not a satisfying answer, but if I could maybe talk about what it may depend on. We have revalidated throughout our Air Force over the past 18 months, we have revalidated what we call our mission essential tasks. Moving from 20, 30 years of counter-VEO fights, understanding the nature of the environment in which we're going to need to fight in the future, we've revalidated those tasks. Understanding how well we do on those tasks tells us how many sorties we're going to need. We're also moving into a world to where, when I was flying, it was, if you're in a simulator, you weren't getting that much training. You need to actually be flying. The advancement of the synthetic environment and the ability to work in some of the key mission areas without actually being in the cockpit changes that equation as well. So I would say I do believe we could fly more and be better, but to give you a precise amount, I think would be probably folly, because there are other elements with respect to mixing it with the live virtual constructive environment that will help offset the need for pure airborne flying.
Yeah, there's nothing like actual experience, and I think you'd agree with me on that. And you know, I just hope that you know, we're ready and willing and ready to go. And I don't know the difference in the airplanes. I'm sure there's a difference of sorties in terms of the F-35 and all the different versions we have. But again, thank you for what you do. I wish they'd bring you to the floor today. I'd vote for you to be confirmed. Hopefully that happens in the near future. Thank you very much.